For the past few years, our team has been chipping away at a seemingly impossible feat: to remake the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion in the latest Elder Scrolls engine. While we are still a ways out, we hope that this series will show you how far one of the most ambitious modding projects of our generation has come, and where we are headed. Welcome to the making of SKYBLIVION! Since creating our first dev diary, our landscaping team has been diligently recreating the various biomes and landmarks of Cyrodiil. While some areas still require a decent amount of elbow grease, the majority of our map is now in its final stages of development, and today we want to share a few highlights with you all. To start things off, we would like to turn your attention to one of the most colourful, beautiful, and perhaps lesser known areas in all of Cyrodiil: the Fall Forest. The Fall Forest is a small slab of land dotted around part of the aptly named Orange Road. While it was a relatively small area, it left a big impact on players journeying through, owing to its unique atmosphere. Consequently, we wanted to give special attention to the Fall Forest and the sort of TLC it deserves. This means entirely rebuilding the area and making it more lush and detailed than its original counterpart. We also decided to enlarge the forest, as to play a more prominent role within the already diverse landscape of Cyrodiil, and cover a larger part of the Orange Road. While the area is not yet complete, we hope this footage shows we are on the right track with its redesign. The Gold Coast, on the other hand, is a region that is nearing completion. These sunny shores have been completely redesigned to better fit their lore and name, making them quite literally golden. The region offers a pleasant environment with its clear blue skies, coniferous trees, beautiful beaches, golden grasses, and gentle breeze. Though the region is attractive, we urge travelers to stay on the roads, as the local wildlife is not nearly as inviting. Goblins, mud crabs, and even the occasional bear have claimed territory in this land, and will fight to the death to defend it. While you may have also heard reports of bandits and necromancers in the area, rest assured that this is nothing more than rumor. In the far distance, we can see the mountain peaks of the nearby Colovian Highlands, a region that shares not only a border with the Gold Coast, but also many similarities, like the dry and warm climate and presence of mostly coniferous trees. While this area and the region beyond is worthy of exploration, we will just appreciate her from a distance for the time being. Lastly, progress on the area around the city of Anvil has almost wrapped up as well. While we would love to give you a tour of the surrounding farms, Anvil docks, and other local points of interest, we think we'll keep these to ourselves for now, in favor of a proper spotlight in the near future. On the opposite side of the province we have Blackwood, the great southern swamp of Cyrodiil. The area borders the homeland of the Khajiit, elsewhere, to the west, and Argonian Black Marsh to the east. These border areas have been improved compared to their Oblivion counterparts, mindful of the provinces that lay beyond in the not-so-far distance. As such, we have erected border gates and fortifications to add points of interest and diversity to these areas. In the case of the Elsewhere border, having the player want to jump the walls and explore the foreign province beyond, leaving Cyrodiil and its troubles behind. In the case of Black Marsh, well, maybe we should just steer clear of Black Marsh. The heart of Blackwood is a smothering damp marsh, engulfed in seemingly eternal fog, death, and decay. This gloomy area, despite its grim reputation, may still be worth a visit, however. The marsh is surrounded by impressive cypress trees towering like ancient guardians, while the undergrowth struggles beneath them. Due to its harsh climate and little human interference, the area retains much of its history, such as its Aeoliad ruins submerged in the bogs, or abandoned imperial fortresses long since forgotten. This intriguing part of Blackwood holds strange secrets and unnatural occurrences, but perhaps some things are best left undiscovered. The coast of Blackwood has also been completely redesigned. Where you once found hills sloping into the ocean, one will now find a dense mangrove forest that houses a number of noteworthy locations and many other mysteries. A sight to behold and a stark contrast to the Gold Coast on the western shore of Cyrodiil. If we divert our attention back to Blackwood, however, you will also find that the area surrounding the city of Leowin has also been completely transformed. The city is now surrounded by small farmsteads and some much-needed infrastructure upgrades to help support the trading caravans that travel to and from a city renowned for its lucrative trading business. The city of Leowin itself has been redesigned and rebuilt from the ground up, referencing concept art from Oblivion that was likely discarded owing to technical and time limitations. This new design of Leowin allows ships to actually pass through the city and sail further inland where they can moor at the capital of Cyrodiil, the imperial city in the heart of the province. Other notable changes are the redefined districts of Leowin, which are now separated into 3 distinct sections. The heart of Leowin houses the chapel of Xanathar, god of work and commerce, fitting for a city best known for trade. Across the chapel, one will regard the magnificent castle Leowin that houses the Count and Countess of Blackwood. From the city centre, you can walk to the beautiful and colourful Upper Class district, which among other things is home to the famous Fighters Guild for those strong of heart to answer the call of adventure, and the Mages Guild for more intellectual individuals who prefer wits over bronze. Some of the finest traders in Cyrodiil have set up shop and always welcome visitors with peculiar tastes and deep pockets. And of course, for those more interested in good food and a decent night's sleep, there are a number of quality inns ready to tend to your every need. The lower class district of Leowin can be found on the opposite side of town. While it may be a stark and even depressing contrast for first-time visitors, it's nothing out of the ordinary for those who grew up in these parts. The lower class district houses a few shady characters and can provide a place to sleep or peddle your wares if you have no other options. It is a safe enough part of town as long as you keep your wits about you and travel lightly. While there is more to talk about and showcase in regard to our world map and cities, we also want to give our new fort designs a deserved spotlight. Forts are an iconic part of Oblivion. The original game featured a total of 52 forts, 28 of which have been completed since we began rebuilding them 2 months ago. These old imperial ruins represent a time when the power of the Empire was undisputed. During the events of Oblivion, this power has been waning for decades, and as a result, many of these forts have fallen into decay, now home to new masters. Our landscaping department has focused on recreating these forts using our brand new fort kit. The kit allows us to create more unique locations, meaning more varied and interesting forts for players to explore. To give you an idea of how significant the reworks are, we would like to present some of our new designs and tell you a little more about their origin and lore. Sancre Tor, the ruins of which can be found in the Gerald Mountains, and is the only remnant of one of the ancient cities of Colovia. Through the decades, the city has warded off invaders, survived sieges, and offered shelter to those in need. Sancre Tor is best known as the final resting place of Tiber Septim. This man-turned-god fought his dying battle in this very place, before ascending to become the 9th Divine. During the events of Oblivion, the hero of Kvatch will travel to Sancre Tor in order to retrieve the sacred blood of one of the Divines, which is manifested in the ancient armor of Tiber Septim himself. While most forts in Cyrodiil are mere shadows of their former selves, Fort Blueblood still stands proud. Blue Blood was constructed in the mid-Second Era and stationed a large garrison of Imperial legionnaires in its prime. Amidst the arduous marshes of Blackwood, this fortress became a beacon of Imperial power in a seemingly indomitable region of Cyrodiil, and could be viewed as a warning to any invading forces approaching from Argonia. This fortress, which was built to withstand any who dared to invade from the east, ironically succumbed to its only weakness: peace. During the relatively peaceful Third Era, Blue Blood was abandoned and consequently eroded as time chipped away at its once impenetrable walls. Around the time the Oblivion Gates appear around Cyrodiil, Blue Blood will play another part in a story. An apprentice of the Mages Guild will fight through dozens of marauders in order to retrieve a Seer's Stone for the leader of the local Mages Guild. But that is a story for another time. Fathis Aren's Tower. As the name implies, this location can barely be called a fort at all. The centerpiece of this location is the lofty tower, surrounded by magical pillars put in place by its wizard guardians. While this location does not offer as interesting a backstory as some of the others, we feel the tower emphasizes how our new designs will leave a lasting impression on the adventurers who dare to fight their way through them. Since creating our first dev diary, our level designers have been focused on redesigning the dungeons of Oblivion. But as of April, we started working on interior locations for the city of Bravil. Nearly all of these interior locations are finished, and we are preparing to move on to the cities of Bruma and Skingrad next. The city of Bravil is ridden by crime, corruption, and inequality. We have the opportunity to create a series of diverse and unique locations to suit the backgrounds and professions of its inhabitants. A good example of a location overrun by villainy and misery is the local skooma den. This wretched shack is where local junkies come to forget their troubles. Admittance comes at a steep price. While one may not pay much in terms of gold, those drawn to this hellhole often do not leave until their lives are in ruin, and death might be seen as a mercy. Bravil is not all doom and gloom, however. For those after a hot meal and comfortable accommodation, there is always the local inn. If you can spare the extra coin, we recommend the relatively upstanding Silver Home on the Water, as opposed to the shabbier Lonely Suitor Lodge. Shops, guilds, your local castle, and regular houses with sinister secrets are all part of this intriguing city. So go out and explore, but heed our advice. Try to make it back to the inn of your choice before nightfall. Dungeons are another essential part of any Elder Scrolls game, and Oblivion boasted its fair share. The level design of Oblivion's dungeons, however, is often seen as the weakest of its features. To remedy that, we have put the best of the best to work. In our effort to make our cave systems and mines more unique, we have created biome-specific tile sets. This way we can make stronger visual differentiations between locations such as the cold Gerald Mountains and the warm Colovian Highlands. Depending on its inhabitants and location, a dungeon can take a myriad of shapes and sizes. In SKYBLIVION, you will find vampire clans, bandits, goblins, packs of wolves, bears, trolls, or anything in between, having made a cave home. Thus, we are able to create bespoke experiences that we hope the players can appreciate when exploring these new locations. Currently, work has commenced on over 40 of the total 115 cave systems and mines in Oblivion. If you have creation kit experience and like to build homes, caves or mines, and in the future forts and Ayleid ruins, we would be thrilled to invite you to join our team and join the effort. Having all these amazing exterior and interior locations is fantastic, but our work doesn't end there. Without the help from our excellent navigational meshing team, these areas would never shine as Todd intended. Navigational meshing is required for artificial intelligence, such as bandits, deer, goblins and the like, to walk around, spot you when you're poking your nose where it doesn't belong, and maybe more importantly, attack you and other NPCs that do not belong to their faction. That is why our navmesh team has been hard at work to navmesh the forts, forests, caves, houses, shops, and many more locations, some of which we showcased during this developer diary. This job is easily underappreciated, but it is crucial to the project's success, and we still have a lot of ground to cover. If you have experience in this field, we encourage you to sign up on our website and join the team. We really need all the help we can get on this. We also recently opened up our coding department once more, as we have a sister project in the works that aims to create a tool that will automate the process. Do you have experience in C++? This might be a fine opportunity to contribute. Since our last dev diary, we have worked on a number of 3D objects, but our focus has been architecture tile sets and clutter. These claims are being prioritized to allow our level designers to use the new and improved kits and assets in order to rebuild all the interior and exterior locations across Cyrodiil. When we use the term clutter, this includes assets such as barrels, crates, silverware, furniture, gems, books, and so on. These assets are used to literally clutter up interior locations, a library filled with books, or a kitchen stocked with pots, pans, food, and wine. Without clutter, these locations become empty and characterless. Architecture claims are by far the biggest remaining claims for the project. Some of these assets are seriously huge, but we are working through them inch by inch. For architecture claims, our artists work on sets, such as the mysterious Ayleid ruins, left behind by a race of elves who have long since departed this world. City-specific architecture such as the buildings of Bravil, Bruma, or Skingrad are also important, not least the stately castles or the atrophied ruins of an empire whose domain covered almost all of Tamriel. This is not to say work on weapons, armors, clothes, and creatures has been put on hold. We are nearly finished remaking all of Oblivion's weapon and armor sets, the most recently completed of which is on screen. Unique weapons, while not a priority, still have our attention. You treasure hunters can thank us later. With a total of 8,032 3D objects to be remade, our 3D team is never short on new assets to tackle. As such, we encourage experienced 3D artists to join our team if you think our project provides a challenge to further hone your skills, or you simply want to help make this project happen. What started out as a simple side project has evolved into one of the biggest modding projects to date. Despite the massive scope of this project, we are finally seeing the end of the road, but there is still work to be done. We hope this video has given you a better insight into the project, and perhaps has shown how some of you might be able to contribute yourselves. Only with the Elder Scrolls modding community's talents and the support of this fantastic community could we have ever gotten as far as we have. For our next dev diary, we are preparing a deep dive into some much requested subjects, such as quests, mechanics, and much more. So stay tuned. We hope you continue to support us as you have for years, and we are excited to share much more. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next development diary. Take care.